Okay, I'm here, Monica's here, and we are back with DDLC This Bond We Share, Part 3. It has been a hot minute since I've picked this up, as you can see from my last save. March 7th. Jesus. It's really been like, today's the 25th. Yeah, it's really been like 2.5, 3 weeks since I uploaded this. I don't remember everything that happened in the last part since it's been so long. I promise, I'm not trying to forget about this mod, okay? It's just there's a lot of other mods that I'm playing right now, so it's hard to keep track of everything. And this kind of just gets lost in the in between all the mods that I'm playing right now. So yeah. Anyway, from what I remember, the MC in this game and Yuri are starting to spend more time together, so the relationship is like starting to show signs of taking off, I think. Something like that. Anyway, I don't even remember where we left off, really, so if I sound lost, I'm sorry, that's why. She hasn't spoken a word since we left. She's just walking behind me, staring down at the floor. There's this odd feeling I don't quite recognize. I didn't quite recognize it before. I know there's just something deeply familiar about her. Well, you have, like, indirectly met before you joined the club. You guys just didn't realize it. I do remember that from, I think, the first part, where they were, like, going on a walk, and, they, like, briefly saw each other before Yuri took off. Since, our boy here was expecting an intruder. So, yeah. Oh, give it up. I'll take her to the club and go. I'll never have to see her again. This feeling will go away. It's not important. Screw it. I need to say something. Probably not a good idea to let her dwell on her thoughts anyway, after what happened. It's Yuri, right? She did not expect that. That's right, yes. I slow down my pace, stopping to look out the window. I recognize this scene, this background, I mean, from a mod I played on my own time, the Yuri Parable, which is a parody of the Stanley Parable. And that was a really funny mod. I might play that one on the show sometime. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want me to play that one. Anyway, I've never been the best with talking, and this question will probably sound a bit odd to her. Okay, I did read that. I want to ask it right. Do we have a choice here? Well, Yuri, haven't we met before? She takes a moment I'm guessing you mean to collect herself, before quietly muttering a few words. I thought so too. That pretty much confirms it. We've definitely met before. But when? I could tell you when. Struggling to fill the silence, Yuri unknowingly attempts to answer my question. Perhaps we've just seen each other around school? No, that's not it. No, it isn't. I feel like this girl was part of my childhood, like I've known her for years. Well, let's find out. Was she? You don't get that by just seeing someone around. Does our boy here have a past history with Yuri? I'm very curious. I'm getting too caught up in this. It's not important. It is to me, mate. It is to me. Yeah, that's probably it. He's just gonna go with it. Okay. I quickly pick up the pace again, trying to move on from the conversation. Yuri just quietly follows along. This time, however, she's no longer staring down at the floor. The look on her face evokes the emotion wonder to me. I think she's wondering if I actually don't know what I'm trying to say here. She's like wondering if she can believe what you're saying, I guess. Like if she can believe what you're saying. She's looking up at me, following a lot closer behind than she was before. She almost seems to be studying me in a way. Perhaps. Looking for anything I can use to divert her attention, I notice the book she seems to be guarding in her arms. That book. It's important to you, isn't it? It was my dad's. We used to read it together. The book itself is special, but I think it's more the memories it has. That's why it means so much to me. The feeling she describes brings back memories of my father reading to me. He despised fiction, deciding that a 6-year-old wanted to hear more about muscule, the muscaleto. Musculoskeletal. Okay, yeah, I'm just dumb. I didn't see the S at first. Musculoskeletal. Oh. Musculoskeletal? I don't know if that's the word that musculokeleto? Yeah, I think you're missing an S there. I could be wrong. Like, I don't think that's a word I've ever seen before. God, I'm getting hung up on this for too long. But yeah. If you mean like musculoskeletal, then I could see that. Or maybe I'm just not educated enough to recognize that's a real word. I don't fucking know. High school was a long time ago, guys. Opposed to an adventure of dragons or great heroes. But later, my mom would sneak in, novel in hand. She would stay until I fell asleep, my head filled with tales of other lands and great adventures. Yep. It's one of the few reasons I never ran away. Damn. Oh, this guy really does hate his dad. Mom can't tell stories to a son she doesn't have. I get what you mean. Reading a book with someone. It's like sharing an adventure with them. Exactly. A way for the two of you to bond, to experience things you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Exactly! Finally, someone understands. The others seem to think that reading together with someone is just weird. Why is that weird? So yes, Yuri's passionate talking startles me for a moment, and Monica just winked at me. Yep. The way she speaks, the smile that lights up her face, her previous stuttering's completely gone. This is what happens when Yuri gets to talk about something she's passionate about. It's always exciting to see stuff. It's always exciting to see this side of her. Even Monica's happy about it. Her eyes she's beaming. Maybe there's more to this girl than I thought. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover, man. Suddenly, she stops, an anxious look on her face. Uh-oh, what happened? Yuri, you're not rambling. You're not rambling. Sorry. What for? Talking for far too much. I know it can get really annoying when I do that. Try as I might, I struggle to stop a small smile appearing on my face. Yuri, you have nothing to apologize for. She must be doing this intentionally. No one can accidentally be this cute. No, she just is. Yuri, the only thing I found annoying was that you stopped just as it was getting interesting. Yuri's face returns to a state of shock, like this is the opposite of what she was expecting. Yeah, she hasn't really had anybody treat her like this before. She's not used to this. Do people really attack her just for talking like this? Without thinking, I try to crack a joke and diffuse the tension. You have a really terrible sense of timing. Her shocked face stays frozen. I don't think that was a very good joke, or what she wanted to hear right now. Great. Way to make a mess of that. Well, you're not perfect. You're not perfect, man. I quickly walk off, forcing the stupid smile off my face. I should stick to fighting. Well, it is something you are talented at thanks to your dad. Seems that's all I can fucking do right. Well, you're not wrong. Excuse me? Yuri quickly jogs a few steps to meet me. She's smiling? Maybe she did like it. I don't know what's going on here. You're the one who saved me only after those bullies destroyed my book. Oh, so you wanted me to wait a little bit longer? Let you handle it? Well, no. She stops talking, slowly toying with her hair. Yeah, bit of a nervous tick. Or something like that. You know, I never did thank you for that. Don't mention it. Please don't. It's not something I'm proud of. Even if you're not, she's happy you did it nonetheless. You did the right thing, man. Quickly trying to change the subject, I look down the corridor. This is the door to your club room, right? Yes, that's the one. I make my way to the door, but Yuri just stays put, lost in her own thoughts. Monica seems to really like this, guys. Coming? Yes, sorry. And in we go. Oh, right. I think we were returning Sayori's homework or something. That might have been last episode, actually. Yuri! There you are! We were getting worried! Sayori's gaze suddenly shifts from me, as Yuri's concern begins to cover her face. Yeah. Yuri, what happened? As I follow her gaze, Yuri's face seems to grow very pale. She suddenly falls to her knees, looking at the floor, horrified. Yeah. The book her dad, told her to protect, got ruined. I seriously knew this was going to happen the second she brought it to school. Like, I knew it was a bad idea for her to bring it to school, given how she's treated. So I expected this to happen. I quickly kneel down, ready to catch her if she fell again. Sayori, go get Natsuki, now! On it! Yuri's eyes are wide open, her pupils contracting inward. She's having a breakdown. Is she okay? Ben, what? What? After watching Cobra Kai, every time I see just the word quiet, I just imagine the main character in Cobra Kai. Just every time he's in the dojo and he's trying to get his students to shut up, he just yells quiet at the top of his lungs. It's fucking great. Don't yell. She's in a bad state. Very protective all of a sudden. I place my arm on Yuri's shoulder, squeezing gently as I try to make my voice as soft as possible. Yuri, are you alright? I carefully turn her face so that her eyes meet mine. Just look at me. You're going to be okay. Shakily, her eyes begin to focus on me, her breathing slowing down. She's alright. You can talk now. Monica rapidly looks from me to Yuri, still unsure of herself before blurting out the first thing that comes to her mind. Place your bets now. What's she gonna say? Any thoughts? Are you feeling alright? Yuri? They seem lost in each other's eyes. Yes? Yes, I'm fine. Are you sure? Monica walks over, extending her arm out to Yuri. Here, let me help you up. No, I'm alright. Monica seems kind of bewildered by this. Like, what is happening with Yuri? And real Monica is just amused for some reason. Shakily, Yuri begins to rise. I stay close, making sure she doesn't fall again. See? I'm alright. No, she isn't. She's shaking. The only thing keeping her up is her death grip on the desk she's leaning on. Right. So you are. She's trying to look brave. I don't blame her. She just had a mental breakdown in front of her friends. You can only imagine how embarrassed she is. She's in here. Ben brought her in. Natsuki almost pushes me aside to get to Yuri. God, Yuri, where were you? I checked your classroom and the library. Ben, can I talk to you outside for a moment? Normally, I wouldn't leave someone after a breakdown like that, but her friends can probably help her a lot more than I can. Sure. Close the door behind us. Monica seems nervous? No, not quite. If I had to guess, I'd say she just wants to know what really happened. Likely just shaken from what we just saw. Exactly. Thank you for that, Ben. I really had no idea what to do. Yuri's never done that before? So this is a first. Well, as we established, that book really did mean a lot to her, so it's gonna bite to see it get ruined like that. Much more than usual. Not that I know of. It was really scary. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I wait for her to continue. Seems like she's conflicted on what to say. Well, that's okay. Just take your time. Figure out what you want to say. Alright. Yuri may not like me saying this, but I think you deserve to know. Basically, Yuri's an odd character. No! I'm sure you've noticed how different she is from most people. Truth be told, I didn't see Yuri very differently from everyone else. But as I begin to learn more about her, yes, she's different. What's your point? Well, Yuri's had a lot of trouble fitting in here. Even in the club, she tends to feel a bit isolated. None of us really know how to help her or talk to her in a way that makes her feel comfortable. And for you to drop in one day and instantly hit it off with her. You want me to join the club so she has a friend there? Well, I wouldn't say no. But I know that's not really your thing. If you could just talk to her every once in a while, make sure she's doing okay, it would mean the world to her. Plus, I'd be very grateful. Monica, I know you're just looking out for your friend, but I only met her yesterday. We barely even know each other. Do you not like her? I didn't say that. Yeah, he's just saying he only met her yesterday. They haven't really gotten time to know each other yet. I suppose I could check on her every now and then, but I'm not promising anything. That's all I can ask, Ben. Thank you. It's alright. See you later, Monica. Quickly turning away, I begin to head home. One more thing! What is it? Monica stands there cheerfully, completely ignoring my cold tone. I'm having a party at Sayori's house in 2 days. I know Yuri wants to go, but I think she'll be a little anxious about all the people there. Do you think you could come? I know it'd make her feel better. Like I said, Monica, I won't promise anything. We'll see. Goodbye. Bye, Ben. Thanks again. I raise my fist in acknowledgement. losing myself in thought as I head for the stairs. Once I'm out of her vision, I stop and stand at the end of the steps, thinking, what the hell happened today? A lot of things, man. Saved Yuri from the school thugs, and then made sure got to know her a little bit, and then helped her when she was having a breakdown. A lot of things, man. Sometimes life just hits you real fast like that, and you're not ready for it. I promised to not be like my father, to not solve all my problems by fighting people. Sometimes that's what you have to do, unfortunately. Oh, right, I forgot the scroll wheel is a thing in this mod. Yeah, as much as it sucks, sometimes that's the best solution. Some people just need to be taught the hard way that there are consequences for their actions. And hopefully it's what gets them to stop. By showing them that, hey, if I keep doing this, this guy's gonna kick the shit out of me. So maybe I shouldn't do that. It was the whole reason I moved here. That's why I've spent years avoiding fights and isolating myself. Then this girl comes along. Without even trying, she gets me to abandon all of that. It's human nature, man. And she goes and slips past every guard I've put up to keep people away. My cold attitude, my serious nature, that all just melted away in the face of her. She got me to talk, smile. For God's sake, I even made a joke because she felt bad. And? What's your point? I don't see how that's a bad thing. I don't see how trying to make somebody you care about happy is a bad thing. The worst part is, I want to see her again. I don't like one girl having this much control over me, whether she's aware of it or not. I can't risk talking to her again. I need to... Ugh! A hot rush of blood burst through my veins. Oh no, he's going into that tunnel vision again. Uh-oh, I don't like this. Damn it, not now! Not here! I ball my hand into a fist tightly, almost jamming my nails into my skin. A split second, my mind jumps to the pair of scissors in my bag. No. Please, no. Not this. Good enough. Not this. Just one cut. Just one. No. Never again. No. I stand straight, sweat rolling from my head, my breath coming out in short, ragged gasps. The urges are getting stronger. Not good. Down to the palm of my hand. Jesus, clenching my fist was not a good idea. How long are your nails? A few bloodied cuts contrast clearly against the skin, etched in savagely by my own nails. Oh God, please don't tell me this is all that broke me out of that state. I can't even get myself out anymore, then things may be getting worse than I thought. Yeah. I don't even know what to tell you, mate. Just, ugh. God, I just can't handle that, man. I need to get home now. Ben, there you are. Of course. I thought you had walked home without me. I was planning to. Doesn't your club still run for another hour or so?
Yeah, but we're moving the meeting. It's gonna be a sleepover at my house instead.
As Sayori catches up to me, I quickly shove my injured hand into my pocket. Yeah, probably best not to let her, to give her a lead to worry about you. Because we all know Sayori cares more about you than herself. Sounds like fun.
You're invited too, Ben.
Yeah, I think that's what Monica said. Thanks, Sayori, but I don't think a girls' sleepover is really my thing.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun.
I'm sure it will, with or without me.
You're such a party pooper.
Wow, is that honestly what you think of me?
Sometimes, you big meanie.
Oh, Sayori. Can't argue with that. Sayori and I begin the long walk home. Sayori talking excitedly about whatever came to her mind.
Then Monica showed me hers, and it was great, but I couldn't really understand it.
They must be talking about poems or something. It was about a hole in her wall, I think. Oh, you mean hole in wall. Wait, does that mean Monica has sentience in this mod? That would really be a curveball, wouldn't it?
I didn't really get it, but it was still really good.
For 20 minutes of walking, my hand seems to slowly stop stinging. I'll have to disinfect it when I get home. Yeah, good idea. Sarah's been absently-mindedly talking about school life. It's nice seeing how happy she is with it. I'm happy for her. She was pretty miserable at her old school. Well, good on ya. It's nice that she's doing well. Seems like you've made some good friends here, Sayori.
I know! They're all so amazing and funny and talented. And Monica's just like, this is so wholesome, I love it. I got super lucky finding the literature club. They've been so nice to me here.
Well, I'm glad.
Do you like them?
Like them?
The club, Natsuki, Monica, Yuri. What do you think of them?
I haven't really given it much thought, if I'm being honest. They seem nice, I suppose.
Uh-huh. And what about Yuri?
Oh boy. What about her?
You looked very worried about her earlier.
Oh, Sayori. Yes, he was being very protective of her, wasn't he? She wasn't feeling well. I just did what anyone would have done. Sayori has an annoyingly smug look on her face. Yeah, because she's not buying it. I think you and me both know what Sayori's thinking here. She's always the one to say it in these mods.
Yeah.
How about you? You and Monica must have had a lot of alone time while we were all gone.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying that if you haven't exactly left the closet yet, then I won't judge you. Not gonna lie, if that's supposed to be a joke, then it just flew right over my head.
Ah! Stop changing the subject! Yuri said you did her a great favor.
Now who's changing the subject? He's got you there, Sayori.
Ben, please, just tell me.
Look, nothing happened, really. Yuri was just having some trouble with other students. She dealt with them, I essentially just watched. Well, that's one way to sugarcoat it. Now the question is Sayori gonna buy that? Yep. Something tells me she did not buy that.
Ben, we both know you're not the kind of person to just watch. What happened between you and Yuri?
If Yuri wanted you to know, she would have told you. Walk away from Sayori. I'm seriously hoping she'll just drop the subject. A sudden tug on my wrist says otherwise. Yeah, she's not gonna let this go.
She's my friend, Ben. I have a right to know. If you plan to bring another girl into your life only to hurt her, I have a right to know.
That was an accident. I never meant for that to happen.
Well, guess what, Ben? It happened.
Yes, accidents happen. I get it.
You hurt her, then essentially abandoned her.
She was better off without me in her life.
Do you seriously believe that, Ben? She really loved you. I know how happy the two of you made each other. And I saw how much it hurt for you to leave her. I don't want you to go through that again. You or Yuri.
Well, you don't have to worry, Sayori. Your friend is safe.
I hope so.
What did you just realize, Sayori?
I forgot to buy dinner for the girls.
And Monica just winked in the other window.
I gotta go. Bye, Ben.
Goodbye, then. I turned back, slowly making my way home. Sayori's words weighing heavily on my mind. My hand starts stinging again. You don't need that apostrophe there, mate. Quickly closed the door behind me, rushing to the kitchen. Yep, time to disinfect that cut. Come on, there's gotta be one. There. Practically tearing open the box, I grab out a small bottle of disinfectant. Not as strong as I'd like, but better than nothing. I carefully pour the liquid onto the small cuts on my hand. That's gonna sting. For a split second, nothing happens. What? Until suddenly a powerful stinging sensation flares across my palm. Yeah, that's what I expected. Yep. That's why I hate whenever I use hand sanitizer when I have cuts. Because that thing is the finder of cuts. You want to find out about cuts you didn't know you had? Use some hand sanitizer. Giving the disinfectant a moment to sink in, I placed the bottle back in the box before heading up to my bedroom. I'm not gonna wrap that up. Never mind. I guess we are shifting perspectives. So we're back to Yuri's perspective. And it looks like she's like laying down outside or something, staring at the sky.
I'm growing slightly worried. Natsuki and I had agreed to meet at my house after she got her things. I assumed she just went home to change, but still, she should be here by now. At this rate, it'll nearly be nightfall by the time we arrive. Hopefully the others aren't waiting for us. I wonder if Ben is there right now. Not that he'd be waiting for me anyway. I was barely able to talk with him once before I ruined everything. That's it. No more of this. If I want to get closer to Ben, I guess I'll have to do something about it.
Yep, gotta take action.
I will be strong in front of him. Before the night ends, I'll talk to him, become friends with him. I timidly raise my fist up to the sky as triumphantly as I can manage. I'll prove myself to him. I will. Yuri!
Natsuki is tiredly running down the street. Still in her uniform. Something must have happened at home. I don't even want to know. Breathing heavily, she comes to a halt in front of me, almost doubling over as she does. Jesus, how much of a hurry were you in, Natsuki? Monica, why does that make you excited? And don't try to tell me otherwise. I just watched your eyes light up. What about this is so exciting to you? What about seeing Natsuki like this is excited? I'm watching you.
Natsuki, are you alright? I thought you went home to change.
Still panting heavily, she tries to speak.
"Nah, I've I've got enough in my bag."
Suddenly, your Natsuki's hand extends towards me, holding a large novel.
I had to go buy this. Take it.
Natsuki pushes the book towards me. I timidly catch it in my hands, investigating its cover. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say this is another copy of the book that got ruined.
This is. You bought me a new Hobbit book?
Called it. Natsuki stands up straight, still panting slightly. So that's what she went to go do.
Well, I saw that your old one was damaged, and I know how much it meant to you, so. Oh, Natsuki, you really shouldn't have. That's not all. Open it.
Not understanding what she means, I very carefully open the book to the first page. As soon as I do, I'm fighting to hold back tears. Written in Natsuki's handwriting, word for word, the last message of my father, from my father, exactly where it used to be. I am very impressed that Natsuki just knows that offhand. That is rather impressive, I must say. So, yeah, props to Natsuki there for going the extra mile. You go, girl.
Natsuki. I couldn't remember everything that was there, but I think I got the gist of it. But that's still not all. I continue to stare at the page, suddenly notice another message in Natsuki's signature handwriting. You. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you needed me. I know nothing can ever replace the gift your dad gave you, but hopefully this is a start. Your dad was actually right, you know. You did grow up to be a pretty amazing woman. I think he'd be proud to see how wonderful you've become. I know I am, Nat.
Oh, dude. Oh. That is so wholesome. Apparently Monica finds this amusing. But yeah, dude, that is one of the sweetest moments in this entire mod so far. Oh man. That that warms my heart, man. Yep, there you go. Just give her what she deserves, Yuri. I love this. I love this. Yeah, I know, it's a bit cheesy, but I thought, you don't have to say anything, Natsuki. Just shut up and let Yuri take this in. I think you overwhelmed her. You done good, Natsuki. You done good. I begin to hug Natsuki tightly as tears freely flow down my face. I can barely form two words as my mouth quivers and my throat catches. You went above and beyond, Natsuki.
Thank you.
Slowly, Natsuki wraps her arms around me too.
You're welcome, dummy.
Ah. After a minute or two, I slowly regain my composure. I just have to say, out of all the mods I have played, that is probably one of the sweetest and most. What am I trying to say here? That is probably the sweetest, most wholesome, heartfelt, exchange I have seen in a mod. That is so well done. That was really good. You all right now? I savor the moment before nodding, carefully pulling away. Yes, just thank you so much, Nat. You have absolutely no idea what this means to me. You're welcome, alright? Now let's go. We're gonna be late. I feel bad not thanking her more, though it's probably getting annoying. No, Yuri, you've done enough. She wants you to stop. Just let her be. Natsuki suddenly walks off in the direction of Sayori's house. Yeah, get going. Quickly putting in my new book in my bag, I try to catch up. Wait, don't you want to get changed first? Nah, walk's gonna get me all sweaty anyway. I'll change at Sayori's. Did she say what we're gonna do tonight? Well, she mentioned a movie and potentially dinner. Yeah, Sayori did just run off to go fetch dinner. I think even Sayori is gonna be late to her own party, because she has to go get dinner for everybody. I imagine we'll make it up as the night goes on. Those are the best nights, where you just make shit up as you go. And it's just the club, right? Yes, just the four of us. Possibly Ben. Oh, right. Him. I wish you wouldn't think so badly of him. He's actually a very kind person sometimes. When I was earlier, when I was in a bad state, he helped me out a lot. He was just very gentle, and he knows exactly how to help. Natsuki giving me a look. She's giving me a look I know all too well. Yep, she's giving you the look. I know that look. I know that look. I better do what she says. Well, I just, Natsuki just smiles, not saying a word. She loves this. She loves this. You're not gonna tease me? About what, Yuri? Natsuki speaks in a very sarcastic tone. I can't help but feel like I'm falling into some sort of trap. Yes, you are, and it is very amusing. I love this. Usually, when I talk like this, you tease me about how he's my boyfriend or something similar. Oh man, I love this. I love this shit. You know, for the longest time, my like hierarchy ranking of my favorite to least favorite has been Monika, Yuri, Sayori, Natsuki. I'm honestly considering moving Natsuki up to third or maybe second now, because the more that I see of her like this, just I really enjoy Natsuki when she's like this. It's so fun. So you want him as your boyfriend, huh? Ah, Natsuki! Natsuki's giggling suddenly bursts out loudly. Oh god, Yuri, never change. Jeez, I don't even have to try these days. I stand there dumbfounded, trying to stay as dignified as I can. Natsuki continues to laugh. Oh, grow up, Nat. It's not working. My mouth keeps twitching into a smile. It's infectious, mate. I don't think I've ever said this, but best smile emote in all of DDLC, right here. How does Ben do it?
Oh, come on, Yuri, just smile. Being grumpy doesn't suit you. Like a floodgate crashing open, the smile widens rapidly on my face. Just be you, Yuri. What the hell? Oh, fine, you win. As usual. Yes, yes. Any case, please give Ben a chance. I think he really does care deep down.
Yeah, he does. He's the strong, silent type.
Natsuki seems to take a second before muttering under her breath. I knew it. Natsuki? Ben, he's a classic kudere.
You'll have to remind me what that is. This may come as a shock to some of you, but I'm actually not super into anime and visual novels. I made an exception for this game. Because of this girl right here. And you are just looking off to the side like, yes, you have told me a million times. I'm saying more for the audience's sake. But yeah, I made an exception because of her. Because of Monica. Because she really drew me in. I found her utterly fascinating. But really, I have stayed around because of the mods in the community. I love all the different people that I've met in this community, and I love all the different mods and stories that people have made to tell their own story, expand on the world of DDLC, or otherwise. Just there's clearly a love for this game, and it doesn't seem like it's going to die down anytime soon. You know, even more than 3 years after launch, it's still going. You know, the modding community's still going strong. Even if, you know, there's nothing else to ever be made with an official means to DDLC, the fans will always keep it alive. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not like your average anime/VN fan, and I have no idea what the fuck a kudere is. I've heard the term before, but I have long since forgotten what it means.
What's that?
Natsuki stares at me with a perplexed look. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Yuri here.
Kudere, one of the main dere types. I'm unfamiliar. Well, maybe if you actually read some manga for once.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Natsuki.
A kudere is someone who seems very cold and unemotional on the outside. Sound like someone we know? I suppose you could describe them that way. What are you implying, Natsuki? Kuderes are almost always acting, usually just as normal as the rest of us. They laugh at memes, they have huge crushes, they just act like they don't. So tonight, I'm gonna make Ben drop his act, show us what he's hiding. Natsuki, are you sure? I mean, that's just a manga stereotype. Not really sure it applies here.
It's it's a general like personality descriptor, I guess you could say. Like, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but different dere types are just kind of like different personality types, and it can apply somewhat to reality as much as fiction.
Even if it did, should we really be doing this? Ben's hiding something. It's probably for a good reason. Look, you're making it sound a lot worse than it is. You're trying to expose something and someone and reveal the parts of themselves that they've tried desperately to keep hidden from the world for years. Yeah, okay, that does sound pretty bad. But look, I'm just trying to get him to open up more. And I appreciate that. And don't tell me that you're not even slightly curious about who he really is. Or who he has a crush on. Ben has a crush? Kuderes always do. Super easy to tell who it is, too. Wait, really? Oh yeah, they always try to ignore their crush. Give them the cold shoulder. That Seems very counterintuitive, because they want that person to come to them. Natsuki shrugs slightly, clearly enjoying the conversation, because this is what she's passionate about. Natsuki is really into this stuff, and she hardly has anybody to talk to it about, so... She's like you in that regards to books, Yuri. Everyone has their way of flirting, I guess. An image pops into my head that makes me softly giggle to myself. What's so funny? Oh, just imagine you getting all flirty with someone. It seems so unlike you. Maybe I would if people weren't so dense. Seems we're in agreement here. Exactly. Ooh, I'm sure you'll find someone eventually, Nat. Yeah, whatever. You sound like me. You sound like me in that regard. Anyway, who do you think Ben's crush is? I'm betting Sayori. Or maybe Monica. I don't know a guy who doesn't like her. The question is, and the question with most anybody who says they like Monica, is it for the status? Is it because they want to bolster their status? Or is it because they genuinely do? Because there's a difference. A real big difference there. I almost don't want to know, given how disappointing the answer is bound to be. But if he is the one, I suppose his crush would be on... Oh, in that case, it'd have to be me. Though, the more I think about it, the less likely it seems. It has to be, right? He's the one. Actually, I heard a few girls talking about Ben. Could be one of them. Who do you think, Yuri? I'm still unsure of your Kudere theory as a whole. Well, guess we'll find out then, won't we? I suppose we will. Yep. Alright. Been going for 52 minutes. Okay, we still got plenty of time. Then she teleports the main character to a room so that they can stare at each other for all eternity. Wait, what are you talking about? Really? That's an interesting place to take your story. I think that's supposed to be an in-joke to the base game. Any thoughts, girly? No comment. The conversation comes to a halt as we near one of the few lived-in looking houses on the street. Is this Sayori's? I haven't been here in a while. Nah, Sayori's the next one over. I think that might be Ben's house, though. Sayori said they were neighbors or something. Ben's house. Natsuki walks over to the house next door, but I stay put. Despite myself, I can't help but stand there, watching. Ben's house. I wonder what he's doing at this moment, if he's even in there. So weird. He could be right there, just behind that door. And Monica's like, don't get any ideas, Yuri. Don't get any stupid ideas now. Would he mind if I... Sayori, we're here. She's knocking breaks my trance, shocking me to run over to her. What is wrong with me? It's the second time today. Feels like I'm losing control, like another Yuri was standing there. Another Yuri, obsessing over Ben, while I just watched, a passenger in my own head. That kind of... Yeah, Monica, you know what I'm talking about. This reminds me of a DDLC mod series that I watched on YouTube over on Cesar Madrazo's channel called DDLC Meta, because that mod explores an idea like that very well. Go check
go check out that channel and that series if you haven't already. I think DDLC Meta is criminally underrated. It's currently in season 3 right now. Seriously, go check it out. It's I think it's worth your time.
Ugh, I've been reading way too much. You're just infatuated, Yuri. These things happen. Nothing to be worried about.
I hope.
I quietly step into Sayori's house, the two girls already talking excitedly. Amy was telling me about it yesterday. She really liked it. I don't know if I trust her judgment. I hear she likes spiders.
Monica's eyes just lit up. Yep, really nice reference there. The self-referential moments are really nice touch. Sayori and Natsuki start giggling at their inside joke. Yep, a joke only this modding community would get.
Oh, mind if I go have a shower? I need to get changed too. Yeah, sure. Just be careful with the water. It gets hot real quick.
Well, that's good, right? As long as it's not too hot.
No problemo.
I peer around the house, trying to see if anyone else is there.
Where's Monica? Monica? Oh, she went to grab dinner for us. She'll be back soon.
I thought you were going to do that? Or did Monica offer to do it? Because I thought you said you were going to do that before we switched perspectives.
Hello, by the way. Sorry. Since we'd already seen each other today, I wasn't sure if saying hello again was required.
Sayori stands there looking utterly confused. Sayori.chr has stopped working. Please contact your administrator.
Sorry. Suddenly her face lights up in her trademark smile. You're funny, Yuri. So how was your day? Sayori takes a seat on the couch, clearing space for me to sit beside her. I slowly sit down, thinking of what to discuss. Well, school was mostly okay. I began to read a new book. Then just some bad things happened. I was being harassed. They ruined the book. Yuri, I'm so sorry. I placed one hand on top of the other, trying to stop them from shaking. It's not all bad though. Ben scared the bullies off and we talked. He was very kind. You can see why you're such good friends with him. Sarah stares at me with a solemn look. It's unsettling. I don't think I've ever seen her like this.
Yeah, because she just learned what Ben didn't want to tell her.
Yuri, glad you're making friends, but I should probably tell you something. Okay, what is it? Ben is, how do I put this? He's very special, and
this practically mirrors what Monica was saying to me earlier. Wow, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, guys. Just saying.
Just be patient with him, okay? Don't worry, Sayori. It's actually opening up a little. I think soon enough he might... Be very careful as well, Yuri. There's a lot about Ben you don't know. If you plan to get close with him, make sure it's what you really want. That unsettling feeling I had before is suddenly amplified. Sure thing, Sayori. A small smile lights up her face. Good, that's all. Sayori suddenly jumps up from the couch, looking out the window. I think I see Monica out there. I forgot to get the show ready!
Always forgetting things, Sayori. Well, you're just like me in that regard, because I always forget something. It's always something. Sayori walks to her TV, looking through a pile of DVDs.
You know, I thought you and Ben would get along. You two looked really cute together. Sorry I couldn't get him to come tonight. Oh, so he isn't coming. That's okay. I'm sure I'll see him again.
Monica suddenly bursts through the door, carrying a few pizza boxes. Nice! You go, girl.
Can someone come give me a hand with this? Of course, sorry.
I relieve Monica of a few boxes, placing them on the console table. Do you mean coffee table? I don't know what you mean by that. What is a console table?
Ooh. Should have spent the extra bucks on delivery after all. These drivers really pull their weight.
Oh yeah, don't underestimate the power of delivery.
Monica stands there smiling. I always enjoy talking with her.
Me too.
But can't think of anything to reply with, so I remain silent. Did you guys wait long? No, we just got here. Ah! Thanks for grabbing food, Monica. I didn't even hear you come in.
Yeah, she was setting up the show. Sayori's narrowed down our options and triumphantly holds a DVD in each hand.
We're gonna watch an animated movie tonight.
Oh, and Monica's eyes just lit up. Well, Monica, tell you what, if it's an animated movie you want to watch sometime, we'll figure something out. We'll figure out a movie to watch, okay?
Natsuki should be happy. I was thinking the same thing.
I glance at the cover art, glazing over the more long-winded Magical Girl title.
The other one is Ghoul Gambler? It's a bit hard to read, the intricate bloody font. The cover features a masked man standing in front of a gaping monster.
Yeah, I can obviously tell Sayori would not like that. Or not Sayori, but Natsuki would not like that one.
The monster is a thematic symbol for the masked man? That could be interesting. I smell pizza! Monica, how many boxes did you get? They're huge! Are they? I didn't know if Ben was going to be joining us. I guess I went a little overboard. More for us.
There you go. That's the winning attitude, Natsuki.
Where do you keep your plates, Sayori? I, didn't have time to do dishes.
Oh, you're kidding me, Sayori. God damn it. Well, in that case, do you have paper plates somewhere? Because those will work just fine. Thank you. Yeah, there you go.
We did plan this kind of last minute.
Natsuki is starry-eyed as she opens the boxes one by one, like she just discovered buried treasure.
So many toppings.
My question is, what kind of pizzas did you guys get? I really want to know.
Which one's yours, Yuri? Plain cheese? I didn't think any of them were mine, to be honest. Nobody really had a preference, so I got a variety. Help yourself, Natsuki.
Yee! I almost envy her excitement. It's very adorable. Pizza's so greasy and it's piled with way too much cheese. My stomach hurts just looking at it. That sounds like... That is especially insulting for... This is especially insulting for me because I skipped dinner. Because I had a late lunch. So yeah, dude, whenever I'm done with this, I'm gonna go fucking eat something. And I don't give a shit if it's 1:45 in the morning when I say that.
Pineapples for me.
I've never had pineapples on pizza. It just sounds like such an odd pairing, you know?
Haha. The internet would hate you, Sayori.
Oh my god, that's great. Oh man. The fact that she says that while I'm doing a fucking recording. This gets an award. Yep. Congratulations, Monica. You just won an award.
What? What's wrong with pineapple?
I wryly pick off a couple of slices of my own, unfazed when most of the topping plopped off. Bantering among themselves about the most universally loved toppings. Whoa, what just happened? Grabbing our plates of food, we all head over to the couch. Sarah peeling away to hunch down next to the DVD player.
Okay, so our options for tonight are... Dun dun dun! Do you think it's weird that my magical girlfriend fights crime after school?
I love her face as she says that.
Ha! That's a mouthful!
You don't say.
That was amazing, Sayori. That's what Spider Amy recommended, huh? Art style is actually really cute. And in this corner, School Grumbly? I think it's Ghoul Gambler. So it is.
I cannot say it enough. The best expression in all of DDLC, folks.
Have you seen it before, Yuri? No, I just thought it looked interesting, and I was looking at the cover.
Well, we know what Yuri's voting for. I'll go with the other one.
I hate to admit it, but Amy might have a good suggestion for once. Ooh, 1 for 1. Monica, you're the tiebreaker. You haven't voted either, Sayori. I can watch them whenever, so I don't mind. Besides, you're the club president. Not tonight. What kind of logic is that?
Monica protests weakly, but she can't help caving to Sayori's deferral. I don't think she likes being referred to that outside of school.
Fine, let's watch that first one. Okay.
Pop jingle blares from the speakers as the show starts. Squeaky heroine is already hard to relate to. Still, this is what my friends wanted to watch, so I should pay attention. Take a reluctant nibble of my pizza and try to keep an open mind. Something tells me she's not going to be able to get into it. This is terrible. Love triangle plot is half-baked and none of the characters are likable. Even the murder mystery halfway through couldn't save this shill of a plot. Yeah, damn, I called it. She really does not like it. I glance between the girls, feeling a bit crestfallen. Even they don't seem that invested. I think it's because they're more just happy to be spending time with each other. You get that, Monica. Even if we don't do as much as we normally do together anymore. Just the fact that we are spending time together like this is more than enough. Because it's not about what am I trying to say here? I've said this before, but it's not about how you spend your time. It's whether you enjoy the time that you've spent. So let's get back into it. Ghoul Gambler is still on the floor, its box partially open. The ghoul might have been a representation of the man's inner demons. A deeper look at the person's psychology could have... Psst. Scarfing down food like she's starved at sea for years. Isn't a single crumb on her plate. Well, you're like me in that regard. You like to have a clean plate. You gonna finish that? Are you sure? I did already take a bite. Natsuki doesn't care. You hardly touched it. It doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you. Truth be told, it was a relief to slide my plate over to her. The pure amount of grease and oil was starting to make me feel sick. This show is kind of a bust, isn't it? To put it nicely, yeah. I knew Spider Amy had bad taste, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. Should we put on that other one? It's getting pretty late. I don't want to get nightmares if it's scary. Yuri's been keeping an eye on it this whole time, though.
No, really. Pay attention to magical girlfriends.
No, you haven't. Don't even lie. And I haven't. I can recite the whole droll plot. Oh my gosh, she's actually serious. That is not good.
It's okay, Yuri. It wasn't even good. Let's watch School Grumbly together next time, okay? It's not called that, Siri. A School Grumbly would be more like Ben or something. I can feel the heat flushing towards my head. Just hearing his name makes my chest clench. Siri's like, oh. I start tidying up the empty plates, hoping they don't notice my face burning.
Yep, good idea.
That's so mean, Natsuki. But I'm not wrong, am I? I don't know. He can be kind of grumbly at home, too. Too much adrenaline must be running through me. Before I can stop myself, I jump to Ben's defense.
Oh no, here we go.
I'm sure Ben is much nicer at home. He'd be much more comfortable there anyway. He's right next door, isn't he? We could go see for ourselves.
Oh, I like this. This is gonna be fun.
Go to his house?
My heart is hammering at this point. I hurriedly shoved the paper plates in the trash.
It's getting late, isn't it? We wouldn't want to be a bother. We could bring him some leftover pizza, like a peace offering.
Even you don't agree with what you're saying here. Like, what are you talking about? Peace offering? What the hell do you mean?
Natsuki blanches.
Natsuki blanches as Monica stands over the demolished pizza boxes. We both will ourselves to turn invisible.
Maybe I didn't go overboard after all.
No, Natsuki was just really hungry. With that melodic laugh, all the tension dissolves. Monica has an infectious cheer, as always. I even find myself smiling meekly. Yep, it's what she's good at.
He'd like her more, wouldn't he? How can I stand a chance compared to someone like her? Yuri, don't let that thought get to your head. It's not fair. She could have anyone. Loads of boys would kill to be with her. Before my darker thoughts could continue, Sarah's voice breaks through my state.
Yeah, stop thinking like that, Yuri. That's not good for you.
So it's decided, right? We're going to Ben's house?
I guess. We have nothing better to do.
Okay, I'll text him. Maybe he has more food.
Of course, that's the first thing that comes to Sayori's mind. God damn it. Oh shit, here we go. Switching perspective. I lift my pen, grimacing. What started as an underline ended in a pool of ink, bleeding through to the next page. Maybe I should switch to ballpoint. So he's old-fashioned that way. I close my notebook for now, allowing my concentration to stray. Studying was never my strong suit anyway. That I can relate to. I was terrible at studying. Even if it made things harder on myself, I always prefer to just take the test with the knowledge I have in my head as is, because I felt that was more like a real test of my actual knowledge. Like, maybe I'm just weird for thinking of it about it that way, but it just feels dumb to me, it just feels dumb to take a test, while cramming a bunch of knowledge into your head beforehand. Like, obviously, if the test is really important, then, yeah, you want to study at least a little for it, but, like, for most tests, I usually just didn't study. I just did whatever classwork and homework I could, and then just, went into the test with whatever knowledge I learned from the class. So, yeah. Half-open boxes await me in the corner of my room. I don't own much in the way of decorations. All things considered, I traveled light. There's not much left to unpack, apart from a few boxes downstairs. All that's left are some old books. I wonder if they're worth setting up. I haven't been able to enjoy reading for a long time, and that was before I had all this coursework and club activities. Who knows? It may not be that bad. I pick up the loose sheets of paper, evaluating all my choices again. Which club would most allow me to multitask? Which club's members are the most likely to leave me alone? None that I can see. Dropping the paper to the ground, I head toward the box of old books. My closet is fairly large. Since I don't have a lot of clothes, I decided to store my books in there too. I heft the first box of books into the closet. It's heavier than I expected. I don't remember packing that much, but I guess some of my favorite books are fairly heavy. Hardbacks especially have some heft to them. Oh yeah, dude. Hardbacks are always going to be much heavier than paperback. I much prefer hardback books, honestly. They just feel more. I don't even know how to describe it, but there's a certain satisfying feeling to carrying a hardback book compared to a paperback book. If they had enough pages, even paperbacks could be formidably heavy. Well, yeah, obviously. Like the one Yuri lost to the fountain. The Hobbit, I think. I wonder how much it would cost to fix water damage like that. Is it even possible to fix a book that's completely soaked through? I started looking it up on my phone when I received a notification. Sayori? Got any spare food? Can't say I'm surprised. Sayori was never the best cook. I should give her some credit. Maybe she's had some practice in the time we've been apart. I wouldn't give her too much credit here. In any case, I'll either have to feed her or save my kitchen from a fire. Or both. I'd bet on both. I should at least check the batteries in the smoke detector before she gets here. I quickly reply to her text. I can make some extra dinner if you really need it. I shove the phone in my pocket, heading to the kitchen. I'll get started while she's... Damn, that was quick. I head to the door, expecting her to jump out at me. Hi, Ben. But the sight that greets me at the door is... more overwhelming than I anticipated. Shit, that's right. The literature club is having a slumber party next door. You didn't forget already, did you? Great, this is exactly what I was hoping to avoid. I can't really turn them away now. Yep. I hide any surprise on my face, standing aside from them. Come on in. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, because I know I'm gonna butcher it. Did I say it right? I think you mean Tadaima. Tadaima? Yes, I apologize if I butchered that, Monica. I probably did. It is very foreign to me, so I'm not good with this shit, okay? Cut me some slack. Monica and Sayori file into the apartment, chattering away. Natsuki narrows her eyes at me. She pauses in the lobby to observe her new surroundings. Huh, you're kind of self-sufficient after all. She tosses her head, joining the other girls. But Yuri doesn't budge from the porch. I rub the side of my neck. I'm wondering how to break the ice when I notice a familiar object between her hands. New book? Ah! Natsuki! She trails off, peering over my shoulder for her friend. Natsuki got me a new copy, yes. Did she really? Yeah, dude. It was probably It was probably my favorite scene in this whole game so far, honestly. Yuri nods, holding her book a bit tighter. Her face lights up with a small, shy smile. That was nice of her. Might want to get this one waterproofed, though. I hope we shouldn't have to. As long as you take care of it, you'll be fine. My advice, Yuri, just don't bring it to school with you. Because you know what's going to happen to it if those people find out you have it again. Yuri, Ben already invited us in. Come join us. Uh, um, Yuri's eyes dart between me and Monica. She ducks her head, shuffling past me with a mumbled pardon me. Your place is huge, Ben. Maybe even a bit bigger than mine. You probably have bigger furniture. You might be right. Sarah is quick to make herself at home, curiously pulling out a chess set from one of my unpacked boxes. Let me know if you want to play chess later. That also reminds me that a while ago when the chess update for Moss came out, I said I was gonna upload my attempts against Monica at the new chess, but it didn't turn out to be as interesting as I hoped. I'll still upload it if you guys want to see it, but yeah, anytime I try to do like a chess video, it doesn't turn out as interesting as I think it'll be. It doesn't take long for the others to follow her lead, though Natsuki peels off from the group to rummage in my kitchen. Ooh, can I play? Just so you know, I'm not that good. That guy over there used to kick my butt all the time. Oh, if we get to play a game of chess in this against Monica, I'm sold. That's okay. I've only played a couple times myself. Maybe the winner should challenge him for first place. Yuri shyly speaks up. I can referee. Three pull the box open, quickly setting up each piece. So, the girls unanimously glance up at me. The mercy of their inquisitive gaze, I suddenly feel a lump in my throat. Other than Sierra, I hardly know anything about them all. But here they are, in my living room. It's almost claustrophobic. Yeah, he's not used to this sort of thing. I force my anxiety away, keeping my voice level. I better get dinner started. Okay. As I make my escape, I turn my hand over, examining the red half-moon marks on my palm. Yeah, like I said earlier, you didn't think to bandage those up. Like, what were you thinking, mate? As long as I'm careful, no one will notice. You should have just bandaged it up, mate. Yeah, they'd ask, but you could just make something up. They'd buy it. The marks should fade by the time I'm at school tomorrow. Natsuki's busy rummaging through my barely filled pantry. What kind of groceries do you get usually? The kind for a single guy? He pulls out a box of cupcake mix from the pantry, sneering at it. And then at me. You hardly have anything here. I almost feel bad raiding this place. I haven't had the chance to go shopping yet. I only have a few ingredients I brought with me and some basic stuff that came with the house. After making dinner for us all, I doubt I'll have a lot left, honestly. Honestly, Ben, we already had pizza, so it's not like we're starving to death. The girls could still eat, though. Especially Yuri, she didn't eat as much. Quiet clatter can be heard from the living room as chess pieces are placed on the board. Place your bets now, folks. Who do you think is going to win? Because my money's on Monica. Also, I was right, I did hear sound effects. The girls seem to be entertaining themselves. I guess I could try a little harder to be a good host. I think you're doing enough, mate. This is fine. And I was getting hungry. Wouldn't it be much more effort to cook for a few extra people? Depends on what you make. Leaning over the kitchen island, I call out to them. Any of you have a problem with pasta? Ooh, are you gonna cook for us, Ben? Pasta sounds really good to me. Are you sure? You just had pizza.
Mate, I would think you'd want something other than Italian. Like, they just had Italian. Did you not hear that they already had pizza? I don't know, that just sounds like a terrible idea to me. For me, too. Pasta sounds really, really nice. Well, guess that settles it. Sarai will eat just about anything, but Yuri's a bit harder to please. I don't really know about Monica. We should keep checking in with them as we go. We? What are you looking at me like that for? I already ate, and I know my way around a kitchen, so you'll need all the help you can get, and my help is all you're getting. Plus, I bet they'd like some dessert. Let's see here. Natsuki opens the cupcake mix, getting out some milk from the fridge. All the things that the house was supplied with. How did she know where they were? You dunce. She's been in this situation before. I shrugged. She might have seen the supplies. She might have seen them supplied at Sayore's house. Either way, I guess Natsuki is staying to help me out. Yep, that's probably a good idea. My fridge is bare, but I have some fresh vegetables at least. Place them on a nearby cutting board and get to work. Where's your mixing bowl? Rightmost cabinet, bottom shelf. Whoa, that was a quick answer. I just unpacked. Huh. We cook in silence for a while. Ignoring Natsuki's watchful glare, I add a pinch of salt to the water to season the noodles as they boil. Where did you learn to cook? Huh? Natsuki points at me with her whisking spoon. Lumpy pudding drips from it back into the bowl. You were cutting vegetables like you worked at a restaurant or something. No, nothing like that. I return my attention to the pot. Stirring was easy, but with more pasta, it's going to take a while. I had my mom teach me to make a few basic meals. Couldn't always rely on my parents for food, so I had to learn to cook for myself. Heh, tell me about it. My old man's a terrible cook. If I want to eat anything good, then I have to make it myself. Yep, well, that lends into the old saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And I firmly believe that. But yeah, my mom taught me too. She was the one who... Yeah, sounds like you don't want to get her started on that. Silent lapses haven't been unusual with Natsuki, but there's something heavy about this one. Yeah, might be best not to go into it until she's comfortable talking about it. I consider pressing her to continue, but it could be a sore subject. Yeah, exactly. Don't press unless she wants you to. My own childhood is hardly peachy after all, so I know how it can be. It's not like she even knows me. She has no reason to be vulnerable with me right now. You need help with that mix there, short stack? There you go. Get her mind off it. You know what, Ben? You look like you need help with the pasta. Take over for me. Hey, Monica, is anybody allergic to bell peppers? We're all good. Cool, I'm gonna add some in. Natsuki shoves the mixing bowl into my chest. The lumpy, half-mixed pudding looks like a yellow swamp. I scowl at it, starting to mix from my elbow. You wuss, why are you going so slow? Just beat the crap out of it. I guess I won't get anywhere with restraint. Start mixing from my shoulder, picking up the pace. I actually start building up a steady rhythm, and I don't stop. I'm guessing that's what you're supposed to do. Cupcake mix goes flying everywhere, splashing against the counter and the fridge. Yeek! A dollop of it even smacks Natsuki in the face. Visible down, expecting some sort of lecture from her, but instead... Easy, Terminator. We're gonna need some of that. Yeah, don't go overboard, mate. Yeah, you have to keep a steady rhythm. There, like this, see? Ah! Sounds like Sarah just lost the first game of chess. Raise your hand if you did not expect that. That was too easy. I guess they're having fun too. Thanks for having us, Ben.
Natsuki suddenly got wide-eyed at just realizing how nice she was. The pasta's boiling over, you idiot! I thought you were watching that. That's your fault for getting distracted. Oh, Natsuki, never change. With Natsuki's help, we were able to serve dinner and dessert without a hitch. Anyone want shredded cheese on top?
None for me, please.
Yuri snatched her bowl before anything else could be added to it.
But, thank you for asking. Hey, Ben, you should play against me next.
Why don't you play with Yuri?
I don't think I'm smart enough to beat Yuri.
Oh, wow. That would be interesting, though. That does bring up an interesting point. I would love to see Yuri and Monica play a game of chess. I think that would be really fun. But I'm a chess nerd, so...
Huh? Sayori? Why do you say that? Didn't you say you were part of the chess club once? I did? I guess I did. Was quite a few years ago, though. You remembered, Sayori? Mm-hmm, of course I remembered. It was a threat to my win record. But I won the last round. I know, I gotta restart my win record by challenging Ben. Can we just settle down and eat first? Okay, but I challenge you, Ben. No backing down.
If you wish. That sounds like me.
I've lost again.
Sayori had thrown strategy out the window and gone all in. As usual, she never seemed to plan more than 1 or 2 moves ahead. But mid-game, she surprised me by crafting a meticulous pawn structure, beaming triumphantly. I felt guilty just thinking about breaking her defensive line. It was tempting to just let her win. But... something's wrong. For some reason, my hand won't move. For some reason, I don't want to lose. My focus trails off the game. It's the feeling of 2 amethyst eyes watching me. Oh. I don't want to lose in front of her. There you go. Power of the waifu. This girl has made me do a lot of crazy things over the last year in the games that I've played. Seriously, it's all because of you, girlie. When she asked if I was trying to lose on purpose, I had no choice but to play my best hand. Good food, good game. It's about time to take a nap. She seems to be taking this loss in stride. Nearby, Yuri starts stacking used plates and silverware. Before I can say anything to stop her.
I believe my prize was going to be challenging Ben for first place. Sorry, Monica, I got excited. It's okay, as long as we're all having fun. Exactly. Well, Ben?
Yuri's gone. The sound of the kitchen faucet running. Damn, I couldn't stop her. Yes! This is gonna be a good match. This is gonna be good. Two competitive people going at something is a sight to behold, man. This is gonna be good. You're on. Yeah! We set up the board for the next match. And now we switch to Yuri.
I can't believe I offered to referee the chess game. Everyone already knew how to play. They didn't need me breathing over their shoulders. Feeling ridiculous, I soon found myself looking for an escape. I started cleaning dishes practically on instinct. Being treated to a generous meal, I feel like it's the least I could do. Plus, it was giving me space to breathe. I overhear Sayori bemoaning her next loss. Can't help chuckling quietly to myself. This is so boring. I don't get chess at all. Natsuki had followed me into the kitchen, dumping a dessert bowl into the sink. That's right, everyone knew how to play except for her. Maybe you'd enjoy it more if you learned the rules, Nat? Why should I? Whoever teaches me is just gonna beat me every time. That's not the winning attitude, Natsuki. Of course you're not gonna win right away. You gotta spend time playing to get better. It's like with anything. You're not gonna be the best right away. That's just not how it works. You have to keep playing and learn more so that you can do better next time. Accumulate experience. That's how this shit works. They already know how to play and I don't. I'm set up to lose right out of the gate. Natsuki's always been a bit of a sore loser, but she has a point. I did lose a lot when I first started out. See? When I finally got my first win, though, it was such a rush. The way the pieces lined up just right, organized to deliver that finishing blow, and the look on the other person's face. I couldn't believe it at first. Me winning anything? It felt like a miracle. But I wouldn't have felt any of that if I never even tried. Yep, like, one of my, like one of the songs on my playlist goes, "You're never gonna know if you never even try." So I think sometimes trying is all we can do, isn't it? Exactly. It may not work out exactly how you want it to, but at the least you can say you tried, even if it doesn't work out. I mean, hell, that's what I did for one semester when I was going to a community college. I took a programming class because it's something I thought I'd be interested in, but after that course, I'm just like, yeah, maybe this is not what I thought it would be. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. I do still think programming is utterly fascinating, but it's not something I would ever do as like a career or anything. So yeah. So, why aren't you out there playing with everyone right now? Yeah, that's, Turn off the tap, drying my hands. I'm busy spending time with my chess-hating friend. Well, excuse me for being the chess-hating friend. You do mean me, right? I run my hand under the tap again, flipping cold water droplets on Natsuki. From the living room, I overhear another exchange. Do you always try to guess the ending when you're reading a book, Ben? Why do you ask? Ah, it really reflects your playstyle. Yes! I wish I could see what the board looked like right now, man. I don't know who's playing what side, but I would love to see what this match looks like right now. For real. Because I bet they are just like at a deadlock or something. You overthink. Looks like Ben is playing against Monica. This should be interesting. Yes! Two highly competitive people playing something is always a treat. You want to go back and watch, don't you? Come on, Yuri, I can see it in your eyes. Leaving no room for argument, Natsuki takes me by the arm and drags me right back to our friends. Yuri's back! Oh good, we're all here. It almost feels like being in the literature club. Isn't it nice being surrounded by cute girls, Ben? Monica moves a pawn fully into enemy territory, earning a second queen. Oh shit! Yeah, damn. This is not look. That does not sound good from my boy here. As I'm sure anybody who's played Moss would tell you, Monica, before the chess update, was terrifyingly good at chess. There's more to life than cute girls. Using his rook, Ben knocks Monica's new queen off the board. Ha ha! Gotcha! Rude! With a wooden clack, Monica's bishop overtakes the rook. Yup, there you go. You gotta have coverage for all your pieces, man. Making sure all your bases are covered in chess is key, man. They've been playing like this the whole time. Who do you think is winning, Yuri?
Well... Examine the board, trying to tune out their banter. Please, let me see the board, man. I just want to see it. Monica isn't in the best position. Most of her pieces have been taken, and Ben is hunting down her king. Ah, yes, so you are the one who is actually not in a good spot here. She cheerfully continues to elude him.
Everything is better with friends, isn't it?
Of course it is. What, you need more members to qualify as a club or something? Why do you want me to join so badly? I don't even write poetry.
Oh, I'm sure you'll pick it up. You're such a fast learner. You even caught on to my best moves.
Well, Monica, maybe you're just transparent. Oh! Oh! Are you gonna take that? Are you gonna take that, Monica?
I'm inclined to disagree.
Out of left field, Monica clicks her remaining knight against Ben's queen in a single, graceful motion.
I'm just concerned, Ben. You look like you'll need a place to wind down.
I was about to say, if she just set up that knight in a position to put his king into check while also going after his queen, that is such a good play.
I'm confident the atmosphere we foster will be to your liking. You'll have time to read and relax.
Check. Silence falls over us as Monica scans the board from every possible angle. Ben stares at Monica with a predator-like gaze, watching her for any sign of defeat.
You know what, Ben?
Monica moves her king away.
Your strategy was a bit stale.
His trademark half-smile falters as we both realize it's a stalemate. Cheeky little... Well played.
Say, Yuri, would you like to play next? You seem totally mesmerized by our game. I'm sure Ben wouldn't mind playing one more time. Well, it was a really good game.
God damn. Let me see the board. Oh my god. Please, dude. I just want to see the board. Well, I'm glad you're happy that I'm so enthusiastic about chess. I bet it makes you wish we would play more, huh? You know, I'll have to take you up on that sooner or later. Maybe after work tomorrow. How about that?
You're both so skilled. I was impressed. I don't think I'd stand a chance against either one of you.
Yuri, didn't you just give me that big talk about the importance of trying? She's got you. She's got you there, Yuri. This is different, okay?
You shouldn't call her out like that, Natsuki. You don't want to twist her arm or anything. And thanks for playing with us. I really do think you'd make a wonderful addition to our club. She's right, you know. Won't you at least think about joining us, Ben?
Yeah, even if you write like total garbage, it's not like we judge you or anything. Very convincing short stack. This is great. Hey, I'm being serious here. I'm sure you are. I can't help casting a curious glance at him. Monica really has been persistent, but he doesn't seem annoyed. If anything, he seems to be weighing his options.
I'd also really like it if you joined us, Ben.
His shoulders suddenly lax as he hears my voice. To my surprise, he smiles a little. Every single one of you had something to say, huh? Alright, but I won't make any promises. That seems to be his trademark line. Can't guarantee I'll stay for very long or that I'll come to every club session. Yay! Classic Sayori.
Then it's settled. This would be a great time to exchange phone numbers. You know, in case of emergency or canceled meetings. Everyone's gonna see your old flip phone, Ben.
That's fine. I only use it to catch up with my family every now and then. We all form a small circle, holding up our phones and sharing numbers with each other. It was only a small moment, but still, surrounded by my friends, I felt whole and a little giddy. We all set our phones aside, discussed what to do next. Why don't you watch that other movie? Natsuki staring at her screen, scowling at some missed calls. Before I could ask her everything's okay, she shoves her phone in her pocket with a scoff. Yeah, I bet I know what that's about. Alright, let's head back to Sayori's house. I'm sure we've overstayed our welcome. I wince at Natsuki's words. A warm feeling of inclusion gives way to a shameful, aching guilt. Even if he didn't mind, Natsuki had a point. Barged in, ate his food, forced him to play games with us. Worst of all, I want to stay even longer. Everyone's gotten the chance to hang out with him, while I've hardly gotten a conversation in. Feels like he spent time with everybody but me. I think I ate too fast. My tummy hurts. Oh, Sayori. You always do this to yourself. Besides, it's not every day that Ben has guests. I kinda want to stay a little longer. I brighten immediately. Sayori, don't you think we've imposed enough? We're all members of the literature club now, right? So it's okay, we're all friends here. That's not... I think Sayori should take some medicine. Do you want to lay down for a couple of hours? I rub her arm, dutifully playing the part of a concerned friend. She shoots me a sheepish grin. Stomach aches are really hard, no joke. If you move around too much, it could feel even worse. True. But her house is literally next door. We all look to Ben for his input, who's been quiet for some time now. He's like, what are you looking at me for? Is he zoning out? I think he doesn't want to get involved with this. Ben tilts his head as he thinks it over and shrugs. I have some antacids in the bathroom. Stay as long as you'd like. Looks like he was paying attention. Yeah, even if he doesn't look like it, he is. Yeah, that's kind of how I am at work. Like, even if I'm not very talkative and don't seem like I'm paying attention, I'm always at least trying to pay attention to people. My problem is I mix up words a lot really easily when spoken out loud, so I always have to clarify with people just to make sure I hear things right. Still, I can't help but wondering at his delayed reaction. Maybe he was uncomfortable being in a group setting? I suppress a giggle behind my hand. If that's the case, maybe he and I are more alike than I expected. We decide to watch another movie at Sayori's request. Ben doesn't have many to choose from. You should have brought that other one over. We managed to narrow it down to an action flick about a man seeking revenge. Ben is leaning down by the DVD player, setting it up with his back turned to me. No one else is nearby. This could be my chance. Okay, I can do this. He's right there. I'm aching to talk to him. I just need to talk to him. Hey, Ben? Yeah? The immediacy of his response startles me. This movie, it's really good reviews, doesn't it? I've heard a lot about it. Heard that too. Actually, I haven't watched it yet. My thought on that, don't trust what reviews tell you about a movie. Unless it's one that has just been, I don't want to say what I'm gonna stop myself before I say that. Just, if there's a movie you're planning on watching, don't listen to, what anybody else says about it. Watch it and, critique it for yourself. Because you might just end up disagreeing with what people have to say about it. Me neither. We share muted, awkward laughter. We have some more in common. It wasn't much, but it was a start. So, Yuri, what are you standing around for? It's starting, come sit down. Natsuki impatiently
pats the cushion beside her. The seating arrangement is awkward, with two bulky couches placed across from one another. In that cursed moment of distraction, Ben had gone to sit on the opposite sofa. Monica and Sayori were quick to pile in next to him. Sayori, still feeling poorly, reclined in a lounging position. They left no room for me. The music stopped. Oh no. I suck in a quiet breath, tempering my disappointment. Shh, it's starting. Ooh, nice. Nice. I'm going for, Jesus, an hour 50? Does not feel like it has been another hour already. Oh my goodness. Throughout the movie, I've been treated to a bothersome view of Sayori's knee resting against Ben's outer thigh. Not only that, the way Monica's hair brushes against his shoulder when she turns. The way Sayori beckons him in to show the pictures on her phone. I can't focus. Are they doing this to me on purpose? I scrunch up the bottom of my sweater, scowling a hole through the TV screen. Lack of focus leads me to miss the context for the characters' motivations, which is annoying. For example, why would the main character just throw his shotgun aside in favor of the pair of pliers? Oh. Ah! Oh my god! Girls shrieked as the movie got much darker than we anticipated. Ben didn't react much until the girls started squirming against him. Their reactions must be exaggerated at this point. The credits roll, the hem of my sweater thoroughly wrinkled between my hands. Ben, what kind of movie was that? He looks over to her, his face just as impassive as before we saw the gruesome torture scene. I didn't think you'd be the squeamish type. Well, then you don't know Sayori that well. Of course we are! I don't even want to walk home. You literally live next door. Monica, just walk with him. Or walk with her, I mean. Just walk with her. And there could be an axe murderer in the bushes. Oh, you're being ridiculous. Girls, don't you agree? Natsuki is totally passed out beside me. A light snoring wheeze escapes her parted lips. Guess that side of the room isn't as squeamish. This is a funny dilemma, though, isn't it? Natsuki's the one who wanted to leave, and then she goes and falls asleep first. That's probably why she wanted to leave. Should we wake her up? Some sleeping bags and mattresses in the spare room. There's enough room here if you guys want to stay. Let's just stay, okay? I mean, how are you feeling, Sayori? I feel better now. Yay! But if Ben doesn't mind us staying, I think this would be better for everyone. I wonder if we would all stay in the guest room. One of us will get to sleep in his room. Thought makes my face burn. All I want is to be alone with him. Compared to all the other girls, we haven't spent nearly enough time together. But it would be too forward to suggest we share a room. True. Ben helps us arrange a few mattresses in the guest room, and soon after bids us goodnight. My heart sinks as I watch him leave. Sayori yawns, stretching both her arms as far as they'll go. Sleepy, sleepy. You look wide awake though, Monica. Ha, you caught me. I'm a night owl. Well, hold on. Then why are you always yelling at me about staying up too late? I'll nod off after I play on my phone for a bit. Why do you think I play games every night? I need something to do to, keep myself occupied until I just crash. So you must be like me in that regard, where you always have to be doing something until you just eventually crash.
See, this is why Monica's #1 for me, guys.
That's bad for your eyesight, Monica.
Hey, I didn't ask for your input, Yuri.
I know. Yuri, did you have fun today? Let's do more of what you want next time, okay? Yeah, we'll watch School Grumbly. Seriously though, as president, I have to take care of my club members. Don't be afraid to tell me what's on your mind, okay? Okay, I'm sorry.
Part of me thinks you aren't gonna like what's on her mind, though. Just a thought, you know?
You don't have to apologize. Sorry,
Can't quite meet her eyes. Rather than feeling reassured, I just feel guilty. Monica has a lot going on as president. I don't need to add more to her plate.
could it be?
She's lording her presidency over me?
Shake my head. I'm being sensitive. Monica is great. Everyone likes her. I like her.
Something tells me Yuri doesn't believe what she's saying here. Force a convincing smile onto my face, nodding.
Yeah, let's do this again sometime.
Oh fuck, what is this? My eyes shoot open. When did I fall asleep? Take a look at my surroundings. This is obviously a dream sequence. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I don't like it. It's very similar to the 4th floor of the school, just old and run down. Wait, does it? There's an open window. Yeah, this is eerie. A very sudden shift, man. Ugh! Head is pounding. That was girl's voice, I think. Sudden chill runs down my spine. Yeah, you're telling me, man. What the fuck was that? Girl was asking for help. Help from something. There's a presence in the area with me. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when it got here. But either way, there's a girl out there. She's terrified. Who knows? She might be the girl I've been looking for. Okay, yeah, just saying it now. Brace yourselves, people. Yeah. Okay, yeah, if you're gonna be like that. Yeah, Monica, you have to watch this too. I stand tall, trying desperately to steel my nerves as I address the presence lurking nearby. Alright, listen up. Know there's someone else here. If you have any intention of hurting her, then I have full intentions of hurting you. I don't know how we got here, but you better believe that I'm getting us out. And if you have a problem with that, turn around shouting defiantly, then you're gonna have to try and stop me. Stand rock still, listening for any movement, any giveaway, anything. Nothing. Great. Start taking steps out of the room. No point sticking around. Maybe playing this thing's game, but if I play, it means I can win. Shake my head. No, I will win. First thing to do in a dangerous situation. Always assume you'll survive. If you won't survive, what's the point? If you don't survive, then what's the point? See, this is what I do. Stuck. Whenever I'm in trouble, I imagine that you're here. You're in trouble too, that you need my help. If you need my help, then I have to be brave. If you need my help, then I have to have a plan. I need to get us out. So for that reason, we have survived. We've already won. If you don't believe me, well, I'll just have to prove you wrong. Carefully turn into a hallway, taking footsteps as silently as possible. Once I'm halfway through, I stop moving entirely, listening for anything. A girl, she sounds terrified. Hello? Her voice is coming from around the corner. She's terrified of me more than anything.
I take a few moments to calm myself down, making my voice as soft as possible. Hey, it's okay. I'm not here to hurt you. My name's Ben. What's yours? Doesn't speak. In the occasional glimpses I get of her around the corner, I'd guess she's only 6 or 7. God, I can only imagine how scared she must be. Shake a piece of eye out from around the corner. Sophie! First original sprite of this mod, and man, it looks so good, so in tune with the style of DDLC here. Really good, really good job. Proper good job, mate. Sorry if my curse is making your eyes dizzy. Quickly, she darts back behind the wall to cover herself again. Ugh, this is getting nowhere. The poor thing is too scared of me. I wish Jerry were here. She'd know how to help her. Good at hurting people. Damn it. Slowly, a small innocent eye peeks around once again. Are you mad? Did I do something wrong? No, you didn't. Let's instantly melt away any insecurities I had. Whether or not I'm the best one for it, she still needs help. No, I'm not mad. I'm sorry. What for? I. Her body starts to tremble. I'm frozen in that moment, completely lost on what to do. Something tells me that might freak her out even more. This poor girl cry again. I'll never forgive myself. Hey, it's okay. Hold up both her hands, lightly squeezing them in my palms. It's alright, there's nothing to worry about. But I got scared. I ran away from her. Her. So she's not the only girl here. It's alright, we all get scared sometimes. She pauses for a moment before looking up at me. Even you? Of course, I get super scared. It feels a little unnatural, but I jokingly elbow her, making sure to be gentle. Don't tell anyone, but I have a super girly scream. She just stands there, a disbelieving expression on her face. Maybe jokes weren't the best idea. Sorry, I just kind of talked over that. I'm sorry. You're silly. This time the smile on my face isn't forced. Good. Silly is good. Yes. Hey, do you know where the other girl is? Smile instantly disappears, being replaced with fear again. I. Just squeeze her hand again. It's just, this is a big place, and it's awful scary. The other girl here would be really scared all on her own. I think she is. But she'd feel a lot better if she knew she had a brave Sophie coming to save her. Really? Oh, definitely. Okay, let's help. Sophie begins running down the halls, her tiny footsteps propelling her along the ground. Not even a tiny bit scared anymore. Some people really are incredible. You bet, mate. I see we're in agreement. Hey, wait up. Alright. What are you doing to me, Maud? I've been here before. Despite her small stature, she can run incredibly fast. With all the stairs and obstacles in the building, I actually have to start working pretty hard to keep up with her. Checking my surroundings, the walls are a lot more well kept. Looking out of the windows shows that it's still night out. Something looks familiar about this hall, though. You don't say. Wait, isn't this the 3rd floor? Standing in front of a door near the end of the hallway. If this is similar to the school, then this is where the club room would be. I instinctively stretch out my hand to turn the handle. Locked. Not quite sure what I expected. No! Attempting to pull me away from the door by tugging my arm. Please, don't go in there. It's alright, the door's locked Something tells me he wasn't the one knocking at the door just now. Oh god, do I even want to know? Sophie, what's in there? That's where the monster is. Locked away.
Monster? She didn't mention that before. My soulmate is trapped in there with some monster.
I locked it in there so it couldn't get me.
And why is it locked from the inside?
Please, can we just go?
What the hell am I doing? She's just a scared kid. Yeah, sorry. Let's go. Sophie continues to run off down the hall. One last look at the door. I start to follow her. Except she's not here. Sophie? Come back. Stay where I can see you, okay? Nothing. Sophie? She's not very quiet. Even if she was a few floors away, I should still be able to hear her. Unless she stopped walking. Door's locked. She doesn't. Ah! Sophie? Help! Same floor, behind a wall. Her voice could have come from. Oh boy. What is this music though? Man, this music is good. Second door, third, fourth. There. Dash in the fifth door. I try to force it open. For fuck's sake. What the fuck am I watching right now? If you're in there, get away from the door. Linking my foot just next to the door. Landing my foot just next to the door handle. No noise coming from inside. The floor feels sticky, like some sort of liquid is seeping into my shoe. What the fuck was that? I bolt upright, gasping, gripping tightly to my bedsheets, turning my knuckles bone white. The after image of the mutilated body fades with each haggard breath I take. It's the middle of the night, back at home. I'm at home. Everything's fine. If that was real. Ugh. Thought nauseates me. Push it from my mind, shakily lowering myself from the bed. Ugh, I need some water. Lean into the fridge, pouring on myself a glass. The cooler temperature slowly steadies my heart rate. But if that really happened, I can't help but worry for my soulmate. What if the killer had gone after her next? She's waking from a nightmare in a cold sweat just like me. It's out the window towards the shadowy night sky outside. Guess that would be the best case scenario. She's waking up miles away. If she's safe, I can't complain. It's weird, but I have this odd feeling. It's an odd feeling like something is coming. Something that'll turn everything on its head. Something that will change everything. It's weird, but I wonder, could that something be her? The supposed soulmate that will change my life? I've been believing in her more and more each day. These girls have helped me remember what it means to have friends. I started remembering why relationships are so important to maintain, and it's made me wonder, if you're out there, mysterious soulmate, do you even know I exist? Do you know who I am? Are you still looking for me? Do you still look up at the stars each night and wonder where I am? Do you watch every sunset and each sunrise, wondering when we can watch it together? Or have you given up on me? You decided that you weren't worthy of love, like I did. I don't know who you are, or if you even exist, but if you do, I wish I could be there for you.
and tell you it's going to be okay. If only I could give you a sign that I'm still here, that I'm still searching. It's nights like these where I really wish you were here by my side, just so we can talk, even for a little while. Just one night together. Ben? Yuri? What are you doing up so late? I could ask you the same thing. Heh, you got me there. I had trouble sleeping. Must be one of those nights, I guess. Or one of those weeks at this point. You have insomnia? Explains why you look grumpy at school. That explains why you look so grumpy at school.
This is just the face I was born with. It's the perfect grumpy face to look out at the stars as dramatically as possible and then just think.
You mean brooding, right?
Right. A comfortable silence falls over us. What about you? Insomnia, right? You have it too?
Oh, yes, I'm the same. I can't sleep. 1,001 thoughts running through my head. I was gonna read for a bit, but I didn't want to wake the others, so I came out here.
Reading in the dark? You'll lose your eyesight.
No, I won't. Be surprised, Ben. The moon gives off more than enough light. Let me show you.
Yuri sits beside me on the couch, pulling her book open.
See?
She turns a page to demonstrate. But Yuri positioned herself under the moonlight. The page really did seem legible. However, only enough moonlight for one page at a time. The opposite page is still covered in darkness. I lean in a bit closer, trying to make out the words. This is the book Natsuki gave? This is the book Natsuki got for you?
Yes, the only one I brought with me.
You read over 200 pages already? In one night?
Not in a single night. I just read this so many times. My favorite scenes memorized by their page number. So I skipped ahead.
Ah, I see. This book is really important to you, isn't it? And those bullies just... Tane pauses in the middle of turning a page. Eyes me. When I see the look in her face, I feel a strange ache in my chest. Apologies. I shouldn't have brought it up. Excuse me. I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, I want to talk about it. It was horrible. I don't understand why people do things like that. How is it fun to hurt another person?
I guess they're more focused on the fun part than on the hurting someone part. But I will say this. People like them who hurt others for fun, I hate them. The world would be better off if they all died one day. There's a pause. Yuri seems surprised, but not disturbed.
Is that why you helped me this morning?
To enact some kind of karmic justice to hurt the people who hurt you? It's a nice thought, but no. He was doing what he thought was right, to put it simply. I helped you because you needed help, Yuri. You were scared. Sometimes, if I try hard enough, then I don't feel like some heartless kid who hates everything. I get to feel like a good person, if only for a little while.
You don't believe you're a good person?
Do you?
Well, it's normal to doubt yourself. But I do think you're a good person for it. In fact, after that incident, I wanted to be more like you.
For some reason, that last line makes me feel sick. I hate the thought of Yuri turning as cold and broken as me. Don't say that.
Why? The way you jumped in and stood up to them?
I solved the problem with my fists, Yuri. It was stupid.
It's brave! You were so strong, Ben!
hold of Yuri's hand to make sure she pays attention. Yuri, listen to me. You've got it all wrong. It's not brave to jump into a fight. It's not brave to hurt another person, even if it's justified. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's not being emotionless. Bravery happens when you embrace that fear. You're scared out of your mind, but you push on anyway. I wasn't scared of those bullies, Yuri. I was not brave for fighting them, just angry and stupid.
Well, I suppose if you want to get technical, I was scared out of my mind. I'm scared out of my mind almost every day. But I didn't push on. I didn't protect my dad's book.
Dad's? Oh no. So it really was important to her. That scum just destroyed it like garbage. Force myself to calm down, paying attention to what Yuri has to say.
So maybe you weren't brave, but you still protected me. Doesn't that count for something?
Yuri, going through every single day scared out of your mind, still facing the world. And between the two of us, I think you're the one who's truly brave. Maybe I should be the one who's trying to be more like you.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to me.
Someone like you, you'd be able to defend yourself. No one would come after you, Ben.
Not anymore, maybe.
What do you mean?
I think I also helped you because I saw myself in that moment. Realizing that I've been holding her hand this whole time, I quickly let go, turning my face away from her. Would you believe me if I said I was bullied as a kid?
I guess hadn't occurred to me.
Guess not. The fearless, mighty Ben. That's how you see me, right? I don't really know how bullies pick us out, but I must have been an easy target. Every day was a shitty rerun. Wake up, go to school, get shoved in the hall, get tripped during class. These kids weren't much older than me, but they always had numbers on their side. Started wanting to run in the opposite direction, to go somewhere else. Somewhere I'd never have to see those bastards again. And when I started running away, they started chasing me. They'd pummel me, throw shit at me.
Oh my god. How did you make it stop?
By doing something I'm not really proud of. Every time I think about fighting Yuri, I stop. A little memory plays in my head. It's my mom, crying her eyes out and asking me what the hell happened. Because she just found out I sent 3 kids to the hospital. She's crying because she's terrified. She thinks I'm growing up to be this vicious man who hurts people for fun. So every time I think about fighting, I keep my head down. Because I can't. I don't want to become a person who my mother is scared of. Seems to be at a loss, searching for the right words. Yeah, there's no easy answer to this, man. Once we get to the next morning, I'm gonna stop, guys. I know this has been a really long episode, and I want to stop, but not in a good moment like this. I believe I said all that. What the hell was I thinking? It's like I don't have a filter around her. And that's a problem? As each second passes, a restless sense of unease eats away at me. Yep, I definitely overshared. Apologies, I went way too deep with that.
I don't mind deep topics, Ben. I'm not uncomfortable or anything. I just wish there's something I could say to make it better.
You're not a therapist, you know. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself.
I know it doesn't work like that. I just wish it was possible. What happened to you was horrible. If any of those kids came up to you now, I'd...
When word first comes to her mind. I'd even beat them up for you. Hey, definitely don't do that.
But I want to. I care about you, Ben.
Monica thinks this is really wholesome, apparently. This is really sweet.
As a friend.
Right. Silence engulfs us, but this time it's far from comfortable. Keeping you from reading, aren't I?
You're not bothering me, Ben. But I've been wanting to spend time with you, actually.
Well, I'm sorry for ruining our time together with my childhood trauma.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not glad it happened to you, but I'm.
She's glad you told her, is what she means. To read her face in the dark, but I think she's trying to say she's glad to know me better. Exactly. She's glad I opened up. Exactly. Just wish I didn't open with the parts I'd rather keep to myself. So, what do you like about this scene? In your book, page 243. She's relieved for the topic change. Yeah, there you go. She describes the author's brilliant strokes of writing and even reads some passages aloud for me. After a while, we decide to read together in silence. She steals glances at first to see if I'm getting bored. But honestly, I feel like there could never be a dull moment with her. Aww. I love this.
Finally, I get to spend time with him. He even confided in me about his past. Apart from maybe Sayori, I think I'm the only other girl he's opened up to. Does this make me special to him? My hands are shaking as I turn each page. I pray he doesn't notice. I wish this moment could last forever. I wish the exhaustion would never catch up to me.
Okay. Yep. We're gonna save this for next time, guys. This was definitely the longest episode so far. I really hope you guys are enjoying the series because this has been a lot of fun to play, and I really am getting sucked into this. This mod is just top notch, man, and it really saddens me that for a demo, this has more content than a lot of completed mods. It really is a tragedy that this is a discontinued mod, guys. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.